Hi. There's a direct link between invalidating and criticizing ourselves all the time and feeling depressed as a consequence. And when we are in that depressed state, it's incredibly hard to do anything at all, anything that would feel good to us. Today, I would like to talk about how when we've been exposed to an environment where we have been invalidated and criticized a lot, how even if we are long out of that environment, it's all internalized and we keep on doing the same thing to ourselves. So what is invalidation? Invalidation is when you have an experience, you maybe feel something, you're upset, you're sharing it with someone else, and the other person is negating that experience by saying you shouldn't feel that way, you should be happy, or whatever it is. Criticizing basically is always pointing out to another person how they are not good enough and what's wrong with them. And when we have the courage to listen to our inner critics that can be very harsh, we will know or find out what kind of things we've been told in the past and what the main narratives maybe are that are driven by voices of the past we have internalized. I personally, for example, am very good at self-analyzing, which is basically really having a go at me and looking at what I have been doing wrong. And it is very difficult, on the other hand, to cheer myself on or to motivate myself. But I think these are exactly the things that need to be learned, because if we only feed ourselves on now putting ourselves down or invalidating our own feelings, we will not only be depressed, but we lose any kind of belief in ourselves. And it's the ultimate disempowerment in many ways. And what makes me so sad about this, that I feel it's a societal problem. We are fed this narrative of never being good enough in so many ways, be it commercials, how people advertise things, that's how things are being sold to us. Someone is profiting from us feeling depressed most of the time. So I think it's on a larger scale, but it's also on an individual scale, the people you've been exposed to, the people you've been growing up with. And I think the work is, on the one hand, removing yourself from people who aren't good for you, which sometimes is nearly impossible, but also then at some point working with those internalized voices and bringing some compassion to ourselves at the same time, because now they are part of us. So if we then get really hateful towards those voices, we are kind of turning the hate against ourselves, which makes it even more complicated. And I think when it comes to emotions, it is really like if you tell then yourself, oh, I should not be feeling this. It's especially maybe somebody overstepped your boundary and you immediately go into, oh, I should not be feeling this. It will make it very hard to advocate for yourself. It's a really tough cycle to break, but to find maybe the courage to listen to those inner voices that are so uncomfortable, and to see actually what they are saying so that you can work with them differently and put them maybe into their safe places, listen to them, but don't do those things, or don't be so disheartened that you never do the thing you actually wanted to do, because that's the sadness of it, isn't it? Like if we allow those mechanisms to just continue without doing something with them, even though it is hard work, we'll never maybe do the things we really wanted to do, or the things we are, really meant doing, the things where we have skills and talents, because we bought into narratives that might be very old but very alive still within ourselves. So the task is to become aware of those narratives and to create ones that are more supportive. And above all, to have a lot of compassion with ourselves, because most likely it wasn't our fault that we have to deal with those internalized patterns. But we can do something about it now. I hope that that was helpful. Let me know in the comments. And this was Anja Kersten, life coach and artist. I'm wishing you a really good day. Take good care. Bye-bye.